Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 13th of December. So, what we got in store today? Well, it's a Wednesday, it's December, and it's, you know what, it's the Fed day, well, the Fed evening, so it's going to be a bit of an iffy one, methinks. We've got actually the PPI at 130. So this morning we've already seen UK GDP coming through there. We could see a bit of movement this morning, but I think as we lead through, particularly towards this evening here at 7 o'clock, things are going to tighten up. There's no one going to be taking any positions in these markets as such. It's going to be light volume. It could get quite whippy, but I expect it to really slow down. So there you go. There's my prediction for the day. Let's have a look at the markets leading into that. Now, just as it's the Fed rate, there's an expectation that the Fed rate's not going to change. What traders are looking for and analysts are looking for is any comments in terms of the cutting of current rates. So in terms of next year, when it's going to start happening, they're going to always be looking at this all of the time now. There's already been cuts priced into the market, so that's ranging. It's seen as quite some aggressive cuts through the year, but realistically it's been bouncing backwards and forwards. Up until recently we've seen the dollar, where we saw the dollar strengthen quite well in this short period here. We've seen the dollar last week or two. We'll see how things develop, but yeah, it's a more hawkish tone this evening. We'll see the dollar strengthen even further. So for now, let's look at the Forex itself in terms of what's going on. The euro dollar starting off with. Yesterday it managed a little bit of a recovery. The problem is just, yeah, it's in one little spell, and in one little hour. Look, at 1 o'clock we saw the news come out there, the inflation. It was largely in line. In fact, one point was slightly better than expected, but either way, we did see a bit of a reaction, but then a counter reaction, and people probably realised actually no, that's what it's supposed to be. Anyway, it's chopping away now, looking quite ugly on this euro, and you can see the range is sort of starting to form a bit clearer. So what to do with that? Leave it, I would suggest. I'm largely going to say that with everything. I'm telling you ahead, but I will look at what these markets are doing so we can plan, well, what happens next. The pound, this is coming off at the moment. The monthly pivot looks very promising here. I would like to see it either bounce off that, or if it runs through to my main pivot level here, which has been sitting here for months and months now. It's a key level where the market seems to be reacting to. It reacted back here just more recently, but it's been all over this level for whatever reason. So there's a couple of points below there. Now we'll see what happens during the day, whether traders tighten up a little bit and start selling currencies, buying the US dollar. I think there'll be some flattening of positions, which could cause some buying of the US dollar as well. Anyway, pound at the moment looking a bit on the soft side here, very choppy whilst doing it. We looked at it yesterday actually. It was looking at around this area for a bit of a short. It just didn't sit. Thank goodness we left it. And well, it's still got a bit of a short sort of pattern kicking in. It's still erring on the low side and looks soft, but all things can change come 8 o'clock. We see these bars coming in at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. May get a little bit like yesterday. Actually, it's a bit later yesterday. It pushed through a little bit later, but it's just watch out because it all changes very quickly. US dollar yen. I'm trying to keep you out of these markets this morning. You can probably tell. US dollar yen. It's for your own good. Now, what I'd be looking for this later is if we start seeing, well, if there's promising, I say promising, a more hawkish, neutral sort of tone from the Feds, I would expect the dollar to continue strengthening a little bit more. They're looking at people looking for some softness. If that doesn't happen, we could see the dollar benefit quite a bit. And look, watch for breaks of these highs here, if it hasn't already done it beforehand. But these sort of levels will give us higher lows and maybe more upside. Aussie dollar. You've got to remember the carry trades on some of these currencies with the yen as well, particularly the US dollar yen. Carry trade there. Okay, Aussie dollar is just getting into a consolidation phase, much like I can show you the Canadian dollar actually, and I was looking at this, much the same. It's in these consolidation phases. The commodity currencies do this; they'll get all choppy, leading into these news, and they seem to do it better than anything else. There you go, in the New Zealand dollar, all tightly packed, ready to go. So realistically, as much as I'd like to say, well, there's a pair setting up there, and we're normally looking for something that's at least showing some promise, I can't see a great deal. I'm flicking through these quite quickly for you, and there's really little to run at the moment, until we hopefully get the signal. And then, of course, tomorrow we've got the Swiss National Bank, the Bank of England, and the ECB, so the European Central Bank. So it's a day of bankers tomorrow for sure. Anyway, there's not. Yeah, I'm just flicking through here. There's nothing even obvious that look like there's going to run at the moment. That's not to say things won't happen. If you're scalping, you may still see some scalps out there. Maybe your own if you're not careful. Gold almost burst into a bit of Spandau Ballet then. Gold, well, it's still softening, still on the edge of softening gold. Generally a strong dollar will see a weaker gold, and well, we've seen the dollar strengthen, haven't we, recently, and well, no shock here. It's still sitting around that $2,000 mark. It could be sort of set to stay around this area, but again, nothing is not showing any hands there. Oil was sitting in that flag pattern. It eventually broke there yesterday. Just get the right bar there. There we go. Started sliding off 1 o'clock onwards. There, just came off quite nicely. So oil's a potential mover later, but even that can go quite choppy with news coming out, so quite wary. Right, that's pretty much it, I'm afraid, today. I would say I'm afraid because I'd love to say, well, there's a couple of setups here or there, but it really is not great at the moment. Bitcoin, I hear there's a lot of chasing and a lot of promotion for Bitcoin at the moment near the top here. Bitcoin just looks a bit iffy again. If you're still sitting into Bitcoin here, it's had its sort of move here. Has it got some more in there? Well, possibly, but the way the volumes that were sold off into this area here does make me question whether it's going to be before Christmas, maybe over Christmas when they've got nothing else to do. Okay. That's pretty much it for me today. I wish you a great day's trading. Let me just check on there. There's nothing there, so no questions. Right, good. Right, have a good day, guys, and speak to you in the morning. We'll mull over what happened with those Fed rate, those federal bankers. Bye for now.